Oh, hello there. Today I'm going to talk about the second part of how to get rid of silent reflux, or LPR. I saw my doctor today. It's been about a year since I've had the test where they shove the tube up your nose, down your throat, and the tube where they shove it down your throat. One of them's called an endoscopy, and I forget what the other one's called. They're both important tests to have, but after you have them, they'll know right away if anything's wrong, and you won't need to take one for another 10 years because this is it's a slow moving ailment. Mine specifically is because of alcohol. Alcohol's rough going down the throat, and it creates stomach acid. And it only takes a few seconds of stomach acid. Maybe you're lying in an awkward position in your bed one night to get up into your upper throat area where it's not protected against stomach acid because it's not supposed to be there. And you end up with a sore throat, which you can make worse if you carry on your path of drinking alcohol. Because at first it was tolerable for me. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but it started to get a little bit worse, a little bit worse, a little bit worse, and then it get to the point where I was at some points constantly throat clearing. I was uncomfortable. I was staggering, and that was it. You can't work properly at when you're working. You're in a public place. You can't act properly. You're so uncomfortable, and it could have been a lot simpler than my doctor explained to me. I mean, I really like my doctor. Not saying the same thing about my psychiatrist, but they're two different people, and I don't consider psychiatrists doctors. But anyway, I like my doctor, but I don't like the way she approached me about my LPR. She didn't exactly tell me how to get rid of it. She did prescribe a good drug, Tecta or pantoprazole. It's kind of an expensive one, but I get it for free because I just do. And it's it does help. It reduces the stomach acid. I take quite a heavy doses of it. I take 2 times a day, and that's quite a bit. Once in the morning and once before bed. So it does work, and I'm about 65% better than when I was at my worst. So it's still not great, but it's still, it's gotten a lot better. And I owe thanks to the wedge pillow, drinking lots of water, cutting back on alcohol, but I'm an alcoholic, so it hasn't been that easy for me, even though it causes me great discomfort and is the reason I is caused me great discomfort. Because alcohol it's making me sick. It's as simple as that. I drank too much for too many years without enough water, not enough food. Because you got to eat food and you got to drink water when you're drinking booze, or is it's so much worse for you. And I didn't do that, so I was dumb, and that's because my dad didn't teach me how to drink properly. And that's not the same mistake I'm gonna make with my children. If they're gonna drink, I'll encourage them not to, but if they're going to, I'm gonna teach them the facts. Let them know certain things so that they don't just, you know, pick up an addiction for no reason. I have no doubt they won't pick up smoking because physically I never felt comfortable smoking, so I would imagine it'd be the same thing for them. Anyway, yeah, it turns out that my throat, there's inflammation in there. It's swollen, and that would explain a lot. Before I thought it was just dry and red, but it's there's some inflammation there, and that's something my doctor didn't tell me. I had to specifically ask her, and she kind of mumbled, and but she said yes, there's inflammation. I'm like, well, thank you. You could have told me that, because that makes a big difference. Because what that actually means is there is anti-inflammatory drugs. She could have given me some of those, and this could have cleared up. I don't know, even maybe in a few days. There was no way she was going to do that, though. 30 years ago, probably a doctor would have given me an anti-inflammatory and this all would have been settled. But A, my throat is dehydrated, B, there is a stomach acid issue which caused the inflammation in the first place. Because an inflammation is just your body letting you know that there's something not right with you. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that your body reacting to, in my case, my sore throat. So yeah, I've been drinking water, less booze, and it has been getting better. Now, I do wish that people wouldn't be as stubborn as I have been, because I've just been stupid. I could have gotten rid of this so much faster. But mine specifically because of alcohol, because this is my experience. Some other people might have LPR for other reasons. I'm sorry, but this video might not be able to help you. But I do think hydrating the throat is a good thing. I think elevating your head's a good thing. And that should apply to just about anybody who's got LPR. But specifically with the alcohol intake, I don't know. I don't know if this video will help you or not, because that's my situation. That's how I understand LPR and how it came about with me. So the thing is, what I was getting at is there is a magic pill out there that gets rid of the inflammation in your throat, which is the reason your throat's discomforted anyway. Because I mean, I had noticed that the dryness in my throat, it can be bothersome in the morning when I wake up, when I've been asleep for 8 hours after a night of drinking, and it's dried out because you're not, swallowing your saliva and you're not drinking water for a good chunk of time, so it is going to dry out a bit. But that's pretty easy to remedify. You just drink a lot in the morning, like a lot of water or even milk or whatever. I mean, milk's hard to digest, so don't drink that before bed, but in the morning and you're going to be up all day, that's fine. So, yeah. There was no way my doctor was going to give me that anti-inflammatory medicine because she knows I'm an alcoholic, and she doesn't want me to take a shortcut. So I can understand her reasoning, and I think she wants me to learn a lesson from drinking and the bad things and the ramifications of it. So learn it early on in life, and I won't have serious problems later. Because I'm 30 next month. So I'm not that old. Yeah, so cutting back alcohol is what I have been doing, and I have been feeling better. It's a slow process. It takes time. But if you just stick to your plan and don't let it build up again. Like, I'm never going to just drink solid again without drinking enough water and drinking too much and just being careless. I'm not going to let that happen again because it was a build-up. It took time for this bad thing to happen to me. And I was being dumb about it, and I shouldn't have been. I wish my doctor had approached me and told me exactly what was wrong, exactly what she thought it was before I had the test, because I think my doctor had a fairly good idea. I mean, they got to cover their asses, and because they could be sued, and they don't want to be wrong, but they could go, I think this is what it is. We're going to check it out for you, and hopefully there's nothing else wrong there. Because some people like me need to be told straight up exactly what's going on. I need to know the facts right away. I don't want to beat around the bush. I don't want to be thinking about it. I don't want to be looking up, LPR video or LPR pages written by doctors and things like that, because they don't tell you the straight up facts. They don't tell you how to just get rid of it right away. And if I knew all the experiences of how you could get LPR, I would tell you how to get rid of it from every point of view. But I only know my sense. And my sense is that I got it because I drank alcohol. And I drank alcohol for many, many years. And I didn't smoke, but I drank a lot of alcohol. And now I have to cut back on the alcohol, and it's got to stay that way because, as I said in another video, it can and will come back if you're clumsy about it. Like, you can get rid of it. If you stop drinking for 3, 6 months, a year, that's good. And if it goes away, that's perfect. But don't revert back to your old habits and get back into heavy drinking. And that way it won't come back. You don't want it coming back. I mean, the Tecta, the pantoprazole that I've been taking, doesn't have very many side effects. In fact, I've hardly noticed any of them at all. One that I could possibly be having is diarrhea. I think it's probably more to do with the alcohol I actually drink, because alcohol itself can cause diarrhea, but I'm sure that probably isn't helping. It is a bit of a nuisance, but it's not that bad. I also heard something about it can cause not osteoporosis, but softening of the bones, so you're more likely to have fractures and things like that if you take it for a long, long time. So I don't want to take Tecta or pantoprazole forever, but I think I'll always have some of it around, and if I know I'm going to do some heavy drinking in the future or whatever, I will take it, and that'll help. And I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of my wedge pillow. I think that's it. I'm having wedge pillows the rest of my life because they're handy. I mean, they're not that uncomfortable. They look a bit peculiar and they get dirty because it's hard to find a good sheet to put over them, but they work. And here's the thing is, pillows on their own, doesn't matter how high you stack them, they don't work. I don't know why, they just don't work. You need a wedge pillow. So, to sum it up, quit whatever you're doing, which is probably causing it. Tell your GP, your general practitioner, exactly what your habits are, because it could be spicy food, too much coffee, too much alcohol, cigarettes, whatever the reason. If you're doing something in excess and you've been doing it for a while, whatever it is, stop it. And like I said, even if you don't do it that much anyway, just take the extra step and don't do it at all until it's gone away. So for me, I really have to step it up and quit alcohol altogether, because I feel like I could definitely beat this thing. Like, my doctor said there was no damage, and what she meant by that was there was no permanent damage. Sure, it's inflamed and my throat's annoyed with me right now, but it really isn't that bad. It will get better. It's going to get better. And I'm not going to live with this for much longer. And probably 10 years from now, I'll have the test done again. Even if I don't have LPR at the time, or a sore throat or whatever, I'll have it anyway just to check up on it. Because as I made the comparison of the video of Star Trek 2009 when Christopher Pike got a cockroach shoved down his throat by the Romulans, although that's probably a dramatization, it is an uncomfortable experience, but it's only it's less than a minute. So even though it feels like a long minute, it really isn't that bad. And like I said, the spaghetti tube up your nose, down your throat, it sounds creepy, but you hardly even notice it. It feels a little strange, it looks a little strange, but it's not bad at all. I would like to have that done again just to have an update, but apparently I don't need the test done for another 10 years, so I guess whatever. So anyway, the final message on this video is, if you drink, put down the bottle, at least for now, for the next few months. And when you go back to the bottle, if you go back, you don't have to. It'd be better if you didn't. But if you do go back to the bottle, take it in moderation. I'm not a doctor, but this is just common sense, people. Anyway, Hope someone learned something from this video. Good day.